I am live. Sorry. I was just looking at everything. So good morning. Good morning. And I just wanted to go ahead and get on here on time this morning and share today's affirmation and journal prompt. So if you are here live, make sure you say hello because I'm using StreamYard and it does not give me your name if you pop on here unless you have given StreamYard permission. And so if you're here live, say hello, tell me who you are, where you're signing in from, so that I know who I'm talking to. And let me take a sip of my tea while I give everybody a little bit of time to see that I'm here. And I'm still a little nasally as I have been a little under the weather lately and feeling so much better today. And one of the things that it's interesting is I think getting into the task that I love to do, which is like getting on here with you, talking to my clients, doing those things actually have helped me feel much better. And so if you're struggling a little bit, maybe it's getting into some of your routine and some of the things that you love to do might help to at least make things feel better. Even if it's not great, it's better. All right, so today we're going to be doing our affirmation and our journal prompt as we do each morning. Well, typically each morning, but I did yesterday late afternoon, and so I apologize for that. But I just was trying to catch up, and there was so many things that I were in the works with everything. So that was the first opportunity I had to actually get on and share. But I wanted to make sure I did that for you guys. And all right. So I was getting a message. I apologize. So I don't know how it is in wherever you're at, but here in Georgia, it's a little chilly. It is sunshiny, but it is a beautiful day. If you wake up in the morning, it's a beautiful day. No matter how you may feel in the moment, it's a beautiful day. You're on the right side of life just to wake up. And so I invite you to maybe take a few moments this morning if you are right now, if you haven't already, and maybe say a little thank you for the different blessings in your life. And I was listening to someone earlier this morning, and one of the things he said that I thought was really cool was he said, even if you're a person that may be struggling financially or whatever, that if you're a person that has woke up in a home that has electricity and it has running water and it has the ability to cook and all of these different things, years and years ago, those would have all taken servants to make sure that they were all done. So you have woken up in an abundance because you have this plethora of servitude that is taking care of your needs. I mean, we don't have to light candles. We don't have to stream our own electricity. It just happens. And so I thought, that's even a better way to or a different way, maybe not better, but a different way of looking at it, that we have all of these people that are, running the gas company that's putting gas into our house. And all of those people we need to say a thanks to. All of those people that keep the power companies running and that's coming into our house. We need to appreciate those people and be thankful. And what about, whoever's out there making sure that your internet is working? What would we do without them, right? And so now it's like looking at all of the different people that we don't even know that are working their lives to make our life better. And so that was just kind of an epiphany for me, and when he was talking about it, and so I really wanted to share that with you because it's not just, I mean, waking up is a big blessing, right? But sometimes we forget all the different people and the things that are happening that we don't see that make our lives tremendously better. I mean, even down to, nowadays you can order your food online and have it delivered to you, right? And man, I remember one time when I was pregnant with my son that I didn't have a car that I could go to the store. My husband and I at the time we were sharing a vehicle, and so I was at home and I was pregnant and I was craving a burger, and there was a what was it was a McDonald's that wasn't, that far from me, but it was definitely too far for me to walk. And back then there was no Uber Eats or anything like that. And so I spent money on a taxi to get a taxi from my house to the McDonald's and back. And it was a very difficult thing. I was very pregnant and I was just craving so much that I had to get out and do it. And so today, just think about it. Today, in that same situation, all I'd have to do is pick up the phone and call and say, hey, bring this to me. I wouldn't even have to talk to anybody. I could just order it online. It comes to me, they ring the doorbell, you get your stuff. And so the blessings that we have now that were not available. So it really hasn't been that long ago that that was not available. So just remember, we have so many blessings in our lives that we don't even acknowledge anymore because it's become so normal. All right. So let me get to the affirmation here. All right. So today's affirmation is I embrace change as an opportunity for growth. And I've talked about change before because that's the one of the things that our little critter brain back here will fight us tooth and nail to put us back into our old habits because it fears change, and its main goal is to keep us safe and alive. And so it's it knows, even if you're in total misery right now, it knows that it survived. You've survived that misery. You've survived no matter what you're going through. And so it's comfortable there. And it's it fears change. And so we have to embrace change as an opportunity for growth. And that's one of the things that I help a lot of my clients with because sometimes, like I said, that critter brain really pops in and starts trying to convince you that maybe what you're going through is not so bad because what if? And I was even talking to someone yesterday about when I was a kid, and I don't know if it's a Southern phrase or if it's everywhere, but I used to hear the phrase, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. And what that really implies is that whatever situation you're in, as horrible as it feels, what if you do something else and it's worse? And I grew up with that saying in my head. And so a lot of times I would think, oh my gosh, what if I do that and then it gets worse? What if I do that and that doesn't work? And I could really talk myself out of a lot of things that might have at the time really been the pivotal thing to exponentially grow my life. But I'll never know because I talked myself out of them. And so what I'm asking you to do is to if you need some help with this, reach out. I am a hypnotist and I help people to get past some of these old conditioned blocks. So, your affirmation for today is I embrace change as an opportunity for growth. So, put that on your sticky note, on your index card, on your mirror, like I do with the magic marker, with the chalk marker. Put it as a screensaver on your phone, whatever you can do to actually get that visible in front of you, because Even though when you first say that to yourself, you may not really believe that, that's okay. You keep working on it. And if you really want to believe that and you just can't seem to do it, reach out. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about how we can make that happen for you. All right. So remember, write it down, share it into the group, a picture of your sticky note or your index card, so that we can all see the way that you are taking care of moving your life forward. Because that's what this is all about. It's about finding a place of happiness within and moving your life to what you want, not being satisfied in mediocrity or not being satisfied in misery. Because, like I said, our critter brain is all the time trying to make us feel like that's the better option. And it's not. But only you can decide what to do and how to move. But this is the first step to begin with this affirmation. Now I'm going to look and see what the journal prompt is for today. And I don't, since I'm not on Facebook, I can't see if there's anybody here. And so I ask you, if you are here live on Facebook, or if you're live on YouTube with me, to make sure you say hello so that I know you're here, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself, and you will hear this when you watch the replay. And make sure you put hashtag replay so that I know you've been here, right? All right, so today's journal prompt is, what did it show? Yeah, there we go. Think about a recent change in your life and how did it challenge you and what did you learn from it? So I love that this is a recent change and not a challenge, because, you know, change can be challenging, but it doesn't have to be a challenge. So, what is a recent change that you've had in your life? So one of the ways that you could do this was, you ask yourself a question. I've talked about this before, because our subconscious mind works in mysterious ways and not so mysterious ways. There's a few things that we know. And we know that when you ask a question to yourself in your mind, your subconscious takes that question and tries to answer it. So when you ask a question like, whoa, me, why do people always do this to me? It's going to work itself to death trying to make sure, why does this happen? And it's going to show you more of that. And so let's ask a powerful question. So when you think about a recent change, you can say, what is the most recent change I've had in my life for the good? And how did it challenge me? And what did I learn from it? So phrase your question so that your subconscious, hi, good morning, Kimmy, good to have you here. But phrase your question in a way that's powerful, because we don't want to just ask old silly questions to our subconscious mind. We want powerful questions so that our subconscious mind is working for us. And that feels so much better. Don't you think? Don't you think, Kimmy? It feels better to know that you're asking questions that your subconscious will work to answer, that gives you a powerful stuff happening in your life. Because if you're asking the right questions, your subconscious is going to be saying, I don't know. Why is her life so good now? Let's just find that out. And so, ask the questions you really want answers for. And it kind of makes me think of years ago, I was having a problem in a relationship, and I had someone, I was talking about what I was going to ask this person and everything. And they said, well, don't ask questions that you don't want to hear the answer, because you might hear something that you don't want to know. And so what we want to do is we want to ask questions of our subconscious mind that we want answers for, that empower us to be better us. to empower us to show up in our lives empowered and confident and ready to live. And instead of asking disempowering questions that kind of shrink us down into a box and make us feel sad, make us feel inadequate, make us feel angry, anxious. So today, even though this is your journal prompt today, also be thinking of how can I ask when something pops in my mind, how can I phrase it into a question that is an empowering question, an empowering way to ask myself about it. And I know there's some times that maybe with me that boundaries have been a little bit hard to show up for, to honor my own boundaries. And I used to say, oh my gosh, why can I not do this? But see, all that did was create all kinds of reasons why I couldn't. So now when that comes up for me, I think, how can I make these boundaries stronger and me stronger in the process? And so it changes the what is going on in your mind because you're coming up with solutions and empowering things. All right. So back to the affirmation today is I embrace change as an opportunity for growth and reminder to put it on your sticky notes. And Kimmy, would you make sure today to maybe pop into the group and put a picture of you and your sticky note, or just your sticky note or your index card, or wherever you've put your affirmation? Would you do that for me today so that maybe other people will pop in and start doing that as well? If you're still there, I would love to know if you would honor me with that gift today. Yes, thank you, Cami. I so appreciate that. So I look forward to seeing that today, and make sure you put hashtag peachy vibes so that people can see it easier. And anybody that you know in the group that you know does this, ask them, say, I shared mine, please share yours, because I really want people to see how this can actually improve how our life goes. All right. So then the journal prompt, think about a recent change in your life and how did it challenge you and what did you learn from it? And remember, you can move that into a question. All right. So think about a recent change in your life and how did it challenge me? And how did I learn from it? Just ask the question and get some answers. And remember with this, make sure with your journal prompt that you're writing it with your hand, because it is proven that when you use your pen to paper, that it actually activates a different part of your brain that you normally don't activate when you're typing on the keyboard. And I know a lot of people have digital journals, and that's great. It's better than not journaling at all. But if you could find a way to be journaling on paper, you would be really surprised at how it's going to activate more from you. So when you ask these questions, the things that will show up for you will be different from if you were typing on the keyboard, because you have accessed a different part of your brain that pours more out. And then whatever you write down that you learned from it, you're going to retain that so much better, so that as you're going through your day and something comes up, something that you learned from this might be just the perfect thing for whatever you're dealing with, because there are no accidents. There's a reason that you are writing this out today. And then save it in your journal, save it on a piece of paper in a folder, and then revisit that, right? Make sure you write the date on it. And that way, when you come back and you look at it, you can say, oh, wow, when on this date, this was my thoughts. And oh my gosh, how things have changed. And it's an amazing measuring stick, because as we change, like whatever we did last week that was hard and to now is easy, it just feels like it was always easy, especially as time keeps going. But if you have some measuring stick that you can go back and you can look, this is what I was going through 6 months ago. These were my thoughts. Wow. I don't even remember feeling that way. And so it's not saying that where you're at now is not good. It's just saying that if you're doing this work in 6 months or a year, you're going to be so much further away from and empowered from the thoughts that you have today. And the only way you recognize that is from having a measuring stick that you can go back and look at. All right. So you have a very blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I look forward to seeing all of your post-it notes and your sticky notes and your index cards and all those things. And for those that are watching in different locations, like if you're on the group How to Live Your Best Life, because I'm streaming into there, because I'm an admin. And for those that don't know, Tawny is taking a break from Facebook completely. And so I've been an admin with her for quite a while. And she asked me to just step in and take over. And so Tony and I are very different. So I don't do things the same way that she does. And so a lot of you have noticed that things are a little bit different in there. And that's okay. But I'm doing everything I can to keep the group going. And if you guys can start getting a little active with, sharing your pictures of your sticky notes and everything, that would be amazing too. So if you're open to doing that, please do that in the group. And then I'm streaming this out on YouTube as well. And you can just share in the comments on YouTube that a picture if you want, or you can just share in the comments that you are actually using these journal prompts and these affirmations, because I would love to hear your story too. So, wherever you're streaming in from, I'm so excited to have you here, no matter when it is that you are watching. And anybody who is interested in the Make Lasting Change group, which is the group that this started from, all you have to do if you would like to be part of that group is to go to vickypoole.com, and that is VICKIEPOOLE.com. And then that will take you right to the group where you will answer the questions to be entered into the group. Because in that group, on Mondays, I do a special live just for them. So that one's not shared out. And then during the week, I get on for these affirmation and journal prompts. And our grand opening is next Monday, and it's going to be full of a lot of information and letting you know how the growth of the group is and what we're going to be adding in. I've got some people that I've got lined up to come in and speak. And so it's a lot of exciting things happening. And so if you are a person that is interested in body image, interested in not being a slave to, oh, thank you, Kimmy. Not being a slave to food and diets and the scale. And if you are interested in your mindset and how that affects everything, we got a water challenge coming up, and it's not just about the water you drink, what that does. It is so much more. And like I said, I've got people lined up to come in and talk about all kinds of things. The first one that I've got actually on the schedule already is a woman who is an expert in organization, because you cannot create new habits in your life unless you get rid of old habits. And how do we start with that? Is we start clearing the clutter in our environment and in our lives. And that opens us up to so much more. And we'll dive into that a little bit more when she comes in to talk to you guys. I've got so many people, I can't even mention it right now, that are definitely interested in coming in and sharing with you guys. So once again, if you're not in the Make Lasting Change group and you would like to be a part of it, definitely reach out and do it ASAP so that you can get in there and enjoy things and be there live for the grand opening next Monday. It will also be at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time live in that group. So, once again, you have a very blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah.